Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Sound TV. Today's video is on the FIFINE H13 Gaming Headset. But before we get started, I gotta let you know, I gotta be honest and upfront. FIFINE did send this headset out for review for free. All right, but as always, I'm gonna give you my personal experiences, opinions, and what I think about the headset as I've used it here the past several weeks. Now let's get started. So we've got two 50mm dynamic drivers on each side. Nice little ergonomic comfort build. You got the stretchy here. You can, put that and adjust it however you need it. We do have a nice little leatherette plushy band, which is kind of nice. I mean, this looks decent. You know what I mean? Nice little RGB for the RGB lovers out there. Nice little smiley face to keep you happy, remind you to smile. Got a microphone, and we got some cool little features that I'm going to talk about. This cable does not disconnect, but it is straight USB, which is kind of cool and new. We haven't really seen too many of those. A lot of headsets, because of the controllers and stuff for gaming on console are 3.5, and of course on PC, of course you can use that as well. You can connect it to the back of your motherboard. But USB is kind of nice, right? And the cool thing about this headset is that you have what they call a USB box, right? So a USB box mix, which has a couple different, applications, right? You got the 7.1, you click that, bam, you get that nice little 7.1 surround sound. You do have EQ, all right? You got music, gaming, and entertainment or movies, bam. You have volume up and down. You can mute your mic. You have noise cancellation, which we're going to test that here a little bit. And then you have the audio mix where you can mix it between chat and game. So if you want a little bit more chat, you can turn that up. Or if you want more of the game, you can turn that up. It's all up to you. It does have a nice little clip. So if you want to clip it on your shirt, clip it on your shorts, clip it on your whatever you want to clip it on, you could do that, which is kind of nice. And that's that, guys. Like, what? What's up? Most of the time these features come on the actual headset or come on the DAC amp situation that most headsets sometimes come with. But here, guys, none of that here. The only thing you have on the headset is, of course, the microphone, and like I showed you guys, you got the RGB lighting here on this left side, so you can switch it. Or if you want to turn it off, you click it for 3 seconds, bam, off. You want it back on, 3 seconds, bam, on. All right, so pretty cool feature, man. Don't gotta look too far. Don't gotta remember the functions and what to press and all this stuff, and you don't have to worry about battery. Now this cable is actually pretty long, I would say. All right, I have it connected all the way to my motherboard under my desk, and as you can see, I have it clipped on here. So I think for the most part, if you have a pretty close-up setup, you shouldn't have any problem with distance or anything crazy. Cool thing about this microphone is that it is just $54 US, guys. $54 US with that. And also you get a 2-year warranty, which is nice. And I think that tells you how confident the company is with the product. Now let's talk about the audio, because that's what you're here for, baby. That's what you're here for. And I'm gonna be honest with you, for stereo audio, that's something that's pretty straightforward, right? You got left, right, center, back, and that's as good as it get. Now we do have the 7.1 feature on this headset, and I will say for single player games, immersive, those story games, like, oh man, that is so fun, very dynamic, it's fun, you can hear everything. But I would say when it comes to first person shooters, while in games like Battlefield 6 and other shooters, oh man, it feels really immersive, but it can be very difficult, in my opinion, with this headset, and from what I hear, to pinpoint exactly where your enemies are, direction, just everything just kind of feels a little bit circular and together. You don't really feel separation. So I think the stereo mode is definitely the way, which basically what that means is no 7.1 and just let it ride on the gaming EQ setting, and you should be just fine. Now Unfortunately, this headset does not work on Xbox. That is an Xbox side thing. They have this thing with third-party audio equipment being connected to the Xbox and it working or whatnot. So unfortunately, that's not available. PC, laptop, or PS4, PS5 is where this headset does work. So we're gonna jump into some games. I'm gonna kind of break down what it is that I hear, give you a perspective on what it is that I think when it comes to this headset. We're in the practice range, and one thing I like to do, as you can see, there's dummies running around, so this kind of makes it really nice. You can test audio from a pretty basic standpoint, nothing crazy, but like this guy right here, I could see him walking, you know, obviously in front of me. I can hear him to my left, I can hear him running behind me, to my right, to my left, right? So pretty good audio cue, nothing crazy. Right here, you could tell these guys are walking, running. All right, I can hear those guys to my right as I'm going across. I'm gonna jump up here to see how that sounds. All right, so I can hear that. What about down here? So I can hear that guy running. I can hear that guy moving left and right. I mean, overall, not too bad. All right, with the 7.1 activated, kind of get a little bit more of like an immersion. I'd say more like 3D-ish sounds. Like, just feels a lot more filling in the sense that you're a little bit of everything just kind of around you. I can hear that guy a little bit, right? You hear this guy coming out of that room. You hear the jump pad. I can hear this guy coming around me. Right, this guy coming up to my right, I can hear it. Yep. Kind of panning across. This guy coming around me pretty well. Stereo for me kind of works a lot better, especially with IEMs and headphones. I haven't really seen anything crazy good when it comes to 7.1 or like a lot of these surround sound softwares or DACs or amps and stuff, but I think for sure that stereo with this headset, in my opinion, sounds the best, especially here. I think you're getting what you need. You're not getting all this like ambient sound and stuff that sometimes 7.1 kind of brings. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. I think, you know, this headset pretty solid. Stereo, nothing crazy. It just sounds pretty good. Like, I can hear all that. I haven't used headphones in so long, man, so it's like very interesting just how everything is oriented as far as audio cues and distance and proximity type of thing. But yeah, I think for the most part this is pretty standard, nothing crazy. It does what you need, you know what I mean? So can't really knock it too much about that. All right, guys, here we are with the FIFINE H13 Gaming Headset. I wanted to make this audio clip here so you guys can kind of hear what it is that it sounds like. All right, what it sounds like in game, Discord, possibly Teams, or whatever application you might need it for. I think it sounds pretty good. I haven't used a gaming headset in so long that I kind of forgot what it is that it sounds like, but I also have never used a USB gaming headset. All right, most of the times it was a DAC or something connected, and then you had a 3.5 millimeter situation with a DAC amp combination. But here you have everything, and of course you do have this USB box, is what they call it, with all the different features that you can click through. So this is what it sounds like. We do have that noise cancellation feature as well, and I'm gonna activate that now so you kind of hear the difference. Right now, I am running my ceiling fan, so that is a little bit of noise probably in the background and maybe some of the ambient noise in my room. I'm going to activate that now. And as you can see, right away, it does a really good job knocking a little bit of that noise out. If not all of it, you can't really hear anything. So, I mean, that's pretty decent. I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen, a really good implemented noise cancellation feature in a headset without it sounding boomy or sounding kind of tinny, taking away the dynamics of the voice and the features and the characteristics of a voice. So I think this is pretty decent. Nothing crazy. All right, I think at this price point, guys, it's a nice little feature to have on a gaming headset. So this is the audio. This is what it sounds like. Let me know what you guys think. I think it sounds decent. Sounds pretty good. Nothing crazy to really critique here. And there you guys have it, the FIFINE H13 Gaming Headset. I think this headset is a fun approach, man, whether it's young kids, teenagers, or fun adults who don't mind the RGB, the smiley face, the functionality. It's pretty simple, man. Like I think about like in the past, all the different cables and the boxes and everything, the functionality of everything. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, man. I love this function probably the most out of the whole headset. Just the fact that it's all at arm's reach, don't gotta think too much into it. And also the plug and play. I think a lot of audio companies are approaching, whether it's headsets, IMs, or other audio equipment, to just make it very straightforward. So I'm not just saying that to say, I just think that at $54 US, you're getting a decent gaming headset with some good audio, this built-in noise cancellation, the 7.1 feature if you want it. Of course, remember, if you use this on PC or PS4, PS5, you can possibly use Dolby DTS and kind of mess with that stuff. But like I explained to you guys, when it comes to the 7.1 surround sound craze, it just really depends on the mix of the developers within the game and how they utilize those channels, if they use those channels. Okay, because for the most part, from what I've seen, stereo works just fine, and they're able to implement a lot of that surround sound and those audio cues, and they're presented really well within that spectrum. So don't think too hard into it. Don't get all crazy over this 7.1 stuff. It is a cool feature, like I mentioned. If you're on a single mode game, single player type stuff environment, this sounds like a little movie. But when it comes to first person shooters, in my opinion, for certain games, it's just the regular default EQ that it has, plug and play, go about your day, nothing crazy, and you can hear stuff. All right, $54, everything USB, no power, don't gotta worry about that. It's just straight to it. You're good, you're set. So if it's something that you're interested in, guys, click down below. The link's there for you. I get no kickbacks. Thank you to FIFINE for sending this out for review. I'm just so blessed. I'm just so grateful, right, that we get to talk about audio equipment and gaming and suggest things that maybe you're interested in. They do have this in black, white, and pink, so just depending on what it is you're feeling. Again, links down below. I love y'all. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below whatever you think, any questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. All right, see you soon. Peace.